evening, everyone. It is indeed my privilege to welcome you all to tonight's gala. On behalf of my co-chair, Janice Tanaka, who is hard at work behind the scenes, the gala committee, and the entire APAA Board of Directors, I would like to thank you for spending your Monday evening with us tonight to celebrate 46 outstanding APAA scholars and 6 distinguished Trojan leaders in this age, the age of the Pacific. We are especially honored that USC President C.L. Max Nikias and his wife Nikki are able to join us for tonight's celebration. As one of the founders of the Asian Pacific American Support Group, it is very fulfilling to see this entire ballroom filled with so many alumni, university dignitaries, distinguished honorees, and of course, the accomplished students who we expect to one day be the leaders in their respective fields of study. As the Pacific Rim countries continue to gain strength and prominence in the global community, our Asian Pacific Trojans are poised to make an indelible mark on society, both here and abroad. Tonight's honorees embody the 5 virtues of an ideal Trojan: faithful, scholarly, skillful, courageous, and ambitious. Each of them have dedicated their time, energy, and talents to advance USC's influence worldwide. They include a former USC swim team captain turned internationally recognized entrepreneur from the Philippines, an accomplished nuclear engineer who served our country in the US Navy, a married couple from Indonesia who are among that country's top real estate developers and philanthropists, the chairman of the USC Overseas Korean Studies and Heritage Foundation, and a trailblazing former US magistrate judge. We are proud and honored, we are proud to honor these extraordinary members of the Asian Pacific Trojan family, and we look to them to help President Nikias realize his vision of USC as the intellectual, creative, and cultural wellspring of the Pacific Rim. Before I introduce you to tonight's MC, I would like to give a special shout out to Janice Tanaka. She, over there where the spotlight is, who doesn't want any attention, Janice made my job as the dinner co-chair this evening easy. She handled all of the difficult tasks. She's the producer and director extraordinaire of the program and the video you'll see this evening. Her attention to the smallest details is why I know this evening's dinner will proceed without a hitch. Thank you, Janice. Serving as MC this evening is the Emmy Award-winning co-anchor of ABC 7 Eyewitness News. He is a longtime friend and loyal supporter of the APAA and a member of the extended Trojan family. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce you to David Ono.
Thank you, everybody. It's great to be back here again, and I'm always thrilled when they ask me to come and do this event. As you can see, this is a packed house. It always is. This crowd has such wonderful energy, and there's so many familiar faces here and people who are really doing some special things for the community. And I think this is the 3rd time that I've been asked back to do this event, and it seems like every time I get asked to do this, I end up in some faraway land with a real concern that I'm going to make it back here in time. I think I was at the Japan earthquake last time when they had to make it back here. And then this time, I just returned from Rome a few days ago, covering the Pope. I was in Rome in 2005 as well to cover it, and I was there for a month. that particular time. So I was really concerned this time when I was heading out there, and it rained nonstop the entire time I was there. Did you guys actually see the white smoke coming out? Did you see that moment? The white, you don't ever know when it's going to come out. They meet for the conclave, then you literally wait in St. Peter's Square for hours for this smokestack to show either black smoke or white smoke. That particular day, we were standing in the pouring rain for 5 hours in St. Peter's Square. I'm there in a suit and tie, soaking wet, and we were live on television, which was really fun, and then the white smoke came out. But it was pouring rain, and I was thinking, this is really a shame, because the new Pope is going to come out in an hour, and it's pouring rain. Everybody's going to there's going to be 300,000 umbrellas in the square, and nobody's going to see him. But somehow, in the next hour, after a week and a half of solid rain, the rain stopped. And when the Pope walked out on that balcony, not a single umbrella was up in the air. It was magical. But I think what really happened was they're sitting in the Sistine Chapel, they have the Doppler radar, they get a good forecast. Somebody says, look, the rain's going to clear about 7:15. Make the announcement at 7. Have the new Pope walk out there at 8. No more rain. It'll look divine. And that's exactly what it was. But I had to stand in the rain for 5 hours waiting for that moment to happen. But I was glad to be able to do that. So anyway, back to the program. Granted, I did not graduate from USC. I always feel right at home here. Yeah, well, I grew up in Texas, by the way, but I always, this university has always been a wonderful resource for me, a friendly place for me to come. Whenever I have stories that I could integrate some professional from USC into, I do. And of course, we love the football and the basketball games, so thank you, USC. You're a great place, a home away from home for me. Tonight we come together to recognize outstanding alumni, student scholars, and to support the APAA's efforts to build academic excellence among USC's Asian Pacific students and provide meaningful programs for Asian Pacific alumni. Now, the proceeds from your contributions tonight will directly benefit the APAA Scholarship Endowment and Alumni Programming. So again, thank you all for your generous support. We literally could not do it without you. And now, before we go any further, I would like to acknowledge USC's President and First Lady who are propelling the university to new heights of excellence. Please join me in welcoming the President and First Lady of the University of Southern California, CL Max Nikias and Nikki Nikias. Thank you so much. We have so many distinguished guests joining us tonight. I would first like to acknowledge 2 USC trustees in attendance. Would the trustees and their spouses please stand up, be recognized, remain standing so we can express our appreciation. Please hold your applause, by the way, until we introduce them all. First of all, Barbara Rossier and her husband Roger, as well as Carol Fox. Can you please stand up? Ladies and gentlemen, our USC trustees. And we have several members of the university's senior administration in attendance this evening. I ask them and their spouses to please stand as I call their names and remain standing to be recognized as a group. Please hold your applause. Senior Vice President of University Advancement, Al Cecchio. Vice President of Student Affairs, Michael Jackson. And Associate Senior Vice President and Campaign Director, Scott Morey. Ladies and gentlemen, our senior administrators. We also want to acknowledge the academic deans joining us tonight. I ask them to please stand as I call their names. They remain standing to be recognized. Again, hold your applause. Catherine Quinlan, Dean of the USC Libraries. Ernest Wilson, Dean of the Annenberg School of Communication and Journalism. And Yanis Yortsot, Dean of the Viterbi School of Engineering. Ladies and gentlemen, our academic deans. We have 3 past presidents of the USC Asian Pacific Alumni Association with us tonight. Please hold your applause. Ken Kasamatsu, Frank Kwan, and George Sheff. Ladies and gentlemen, our past USC Asian Pacific Alumni Association presidents. Thank you. And we are pleased to welcome our 4 alumni leaders. Mitchell Liu, the president of the USC Alumni Association Board of Governors and the immediate past president of APAA. Ramona Capello, the president-elect of the USC Alumni Association Board of Governors. Rod Nakamoto, the president of the USC Asian Pacific Alumni Association. And you just heard from her, Karen Wong, who is not only the co-chair of tonight's gala, but the president-elect of the APAA. Ladies and gentlemen, our alumni leaders. We want to acknowledge the members of the USC Alumni Association Board of Governors and the APAA Board of Directors in attendance and thank them for their support. Will the board members who are present tonight please stand up and be recognized, and you can go ahead and applaud for them. Thank you very much. Please stand, don't be shy. Thank you. And now to extend greetings from the USC Alumni Association, please welcome the Interim Associate Vice President for Alumni Relations, Patrick Auerbach.
Thank you, David, and good evening, everyone. On behalf of the USC Alumni Association and the entire Trojan family, I want to congratulate the Asian Pacific Alumni Association on more than 30 years of dedicated service to USC and our Asian Pacific Trojans. Tonight, we come together to celebrate our distinguished alumni and the next generation of Trojan leaders and scholars. Before we go any further, I want to recognize a leader who was just introduced, a leader in the Trojan family who has long been one of the Asian Pacific Alumni Association's most passionate advocates. Last year, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Mitchell Liu became the first Asian American to get the role of President of the USC Alumni Association Board of Governors. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, please join me in thanking Mitchell for his outstanding service to USC and congratulating him on his historic accomplishment. Ladies and gentlemen, Mitchell Liu. I also want to recognize Rod Nakamoto for his exemplary leadership of the Asian Pacific Alumni Association this year, and I believe Rod is still backstage, so you'll be hearing from him shortly, as well as his dedicated service to the USC Alumni Association's Board of Governors. Thanks to him, his fellow members of the APAA Board of Directors, Senior Director of Alumni Relations Grace Shiba, Associate Director of Alumni Relations Alex Chang, and a tireless band of volunteers, it has been another banner year for the APAA. Congratulations on a job well done. This current year has also been an exciting time for the USC Alumni Association, which continues to enhance and expand its benefits, programming, and services for the more than 300,000 members of the Trojan family around the world. The Asian Pacific Alumni Association plays a critical role in further engaging alumni lifelong and worldwide, building a culture of philanthropy among the Trojan family, and being a representative voice for all USC alumni. On behalf of the USC Alumni Association, I want to thank you for all that you've done and will continue to do for the Trojan family. And now, please join me in a warm welcome for the President of the APAA Board of Directors, Rod Nakamoto.
Thank you. If there is anyone tonight who doubts APA is a key gateway for Asian Pacific alumni to connect to this university, who wonders if we are the organization best suited to engage this diverse and growing part of the Trojan family, who questions the impact this group of alumni is having on shaping the future of this university and the world, tonight is your answer. Tonight, we acknowledge the achievement and promise of our APA scholars as they continue on their journey of discovery en route to becoming their generation's next leaders. Tonight, we celebrate the achievements of 6 outstanding honorees, each making a dramatic impact in their profession, in their communities, and right here at USC. And tonight, we take a moment to appreciate how far APA has come, especially in the last 4 years. In 2011, APAA was named the Alumni Association Volunteer Organization of the Year for its innovative programs and the results it achieved. We were recognized for our networking and professional development programs for young alumni, programs that were designed and executed by our gifted Young Alumni Council members. We were recognized for expanding our regional outreach to alumni in Orange County, in San Francisco, and Hawaii. And we were recognized for increasing by almost 100% the number of scholarships and dollars awarded in just 4 years. And now, thanks to all of you and the tremendous work of our gala co-chairs, this is our most successful gala ever. Please give yourselves a round of applause. Thank you. Thank you. I want to thank all those that have contributed to building APA into the organization it is today. From our founding members to our past presidents to the many individuals that have served on our board and committees. I want to personally acknowledge the contributions and visionary leadership of our immediate past president, Dr. Mitchell Liu, and recognize Senior Director of Alumni Relations, Grace Shiba, and Associate Director, Alex Chang, for their passion and dedication. It is also no coincidence that APA's rise has taken place at a time that the Alumni Association has flourished. APA's ability to collaborate and access the talented executives and staff of the Alumni Association allow us to successfully undertake bold initiatives and programs, like this gala tonight and like the historic event that took place at last summer's commencement. Last year, the university awarded honorary degrees to USC's Nisei former students who were forcibly interned during World War II and had to forego their studies at USC. This recognition effort started with Trojans giving voice to this important issue. The voices came from students at USC, from alumni across the country and the world, and from your own APAA Board of Directors. This, in turn, was enthusiastically supported by those throughout the Alumni Association, especially Scott Morey, the CEO at the time. And then the university, under the leadership of President Nikias, did the heavy lifting and satisfied a dream of so many Trojans and turned that into a reality. There are many memories I have of that special commencement day, but one stands out in particular for me. Immediately following the general commencement ceremony, there was a private ceremony that was attended by the Nisei former students, members of the university's senior administration, and APAA. At that reception, President Nikias and First Lady Nikki Nikias shared a special moment with each degree recipient and their family before presenting them their degrees. This meant so much to these loyal Trojans, the families, and the APA community, and was just another example of the principled leadership that guides this university. And now, as we look to APA's future, there's much to be excited about. In a few months, a dynamic leader, Karen Wong, will become the next APA president, and she will work with a committed and results-driven board to carry on the good work we're doing and to outline new, innovative initiatives. We've achieved so much together, but there still is a long journey ahead to fulfill our promise to harness the collective passion of all our Asian Pacific alumni and to make an even greater contribution to this university. The opportunity is right here before us. The time is now. All of us can make a difference, and we need your support. Thank you for your continued help. Enjoy the rest of the evening, and congratulations again to our scholars and honorees. Thank you, and fight on. Thank you. And now, it is my pleasure to introduce the USC President, C.L. Max Nikias. President Nikias is the holder of the Robert C. Packard President's Chair and the Malcolm R. Curie Chair in Technology and Humanities, and also chairs the USC Hospitals Governing Board. He has been at USC since 1991 as a professor, director of Natural Research Centers, dean, provost, and now president. He holds faculty appointments in both electrical engineering and the classics. In addition, he leads freshman micro-seminars each fall on ancient Athenian democracy and drama. President Nikias has articulated a vision and set a strategy for USC's rapid rise as a global research university. We are also extremely grateful for support of USC's Asian Pacific students and alumni. Please join me in welcoming the 11th President of the University of Southern California, Dr. C.L. Max Nikias.
Thank you, Rod. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. My goodness, we have so many Trojans this evening. I'm told there are more than 450. So to the organizers of this awards gala, congratulations. Thank you. My wife, Nikki, and I are truly delighted to be here and to be a part of this very special celebration. Tonight gives us an opportunity to acknowledge the outstanding contributions of the USC Asian Pacific Alumni Association and to warmly salute all of you, its distinguished leadership, members, and friends. The APAA has been a dynamic part of the USC community for more than 3 decades, and we have all benefited from its steadfast support of Asian Pacific American students. The association's work is more vital than ever, as nations in the Pacific Rim play an increasingly important role on the global stage, and as USC strengthens its collaborations with this vibrant region. The majority of our international students hail from Asia and the Pacific Rim, and so many of our domestic students have cultural roots in this part of the world. We applaud the support you show them through generous scholarships and mentoring. On behalf of the Trojan family, we are all very grateful. Thank you. But what makes me even more proud about our past is that the university, USC, has welcomed students and faculty from Asia and the Pacific Rim since our founding in 1880. If you look at USC's humble beginnings, when we began with only 9 teachers and 53 students, 2 of our students in 1880 were foreign students from Japan. Within our very first decade, Mr. T. Sasaki came from Tokyo to what was then known as the USC Maclay College of Theology, where he taught Japanese and Chinese, as well as the religions of East Asia. Around the same time, in 1890, Mr. K.N. Wada of Osaka, Japan, graduated from our College of Medicine. And in 1905, James Main Dixon came to USC as a professor of English literature. He had previously taught at the Imperial University of Japan, and he was decorated by the Emperor of Japan. In Tokyo, Professor Dixon's students included the world-renowned novelist Natsumi Soseki. Less than 2 decades later, in 1922, China sent Yuan Lin Fan to study modern agricultural methods at USC, and he went on to serve 3 terms as Minister of Education in China. And in 1933, Sang-Dal Cha, who was born in Korea, received his bachelor's in business administration and then returned to his homeland. Now, I offer these historical examples to emphasize that the Trojan family's embrace has extended to Asia and the Pacific Rim for more than a century. But tonight we honor your esteemed place in our community, and also we celebrate our shared ideals. At USC, we are a single family, the Trojan family. We advance USC's mission together and we all benefit from being part of a diverse, deeply talented community. Our interactions enrich our work and our lives, and this is why groups such as this one, the Asian Pacific Alumni Association, are so important to USC, not just today, but especially in the future. They illuminate diversity, champion cultural heritage, and offer support when necessary. You contribute so much to the life of this university, and you have the sincere gratitude of your Trojan brothers and sisters. So in closing, allow me to share with you what I have been telling our alumni groups all over the world. People ask me, what do you do as president? And I say, my job description, it's very simple. My job is to keep adding value to your degrees. Thank you, and fight on.
Ladies and gentlemen, to present this evening's first awards, please welcome the Senior Director of the USC Asian Pacific Alumni Association, Grace Shiba.
Good evening, everyone. It truly is an honor for me to present this year's APA Service Awards. The Service Award recognizes alumni who have selfishly given their time, talent, and treasure in support of the Trojan family. Their dedication and generosity have enriched and developed USC's Asian Pacific community and helped build a foundation on which our future leaders can continually strive for excellence. Tonight's first honoree, Dr. Tae-Hyun Oh, has loyally served his alma mater for more than 30 years, most notably as a primary driving force behind the creation of the USC Korean Heritage Library. This internationally recognized collection represents nearly 50% of USC's East Asian Library's holdings. Thanks to Dr. Oh's leadership, the USC Korean Heritage Library has become one of, if not the, preeminent Korean Studies library in North America. Because of USC's historical connection and geographical proximity to Korea, Dr. Oh recognized that our university was the ideal institution to develop one of the nation's leading Korean study programs. Today, he continues to be the library's leading supporter as the chairman of the Overseas Korean Studies and Heritage Foundation, whose sole purpose is to support the library. To that end, it has contributed more than $500,000 towards collection endowments. In recognition of the many contributions he has made to the researching and learning of USC, the university's East Asian Library displays Dr. Oh's portrait in a very special place of honor. The honor is now mine to recognize Dr. Tae-Hyun Oh with the USC APAA Service Award on behalf of all of us at the Asian Pacific Alumni Association. Unfortunately, Dr. Oh was not able to make the trip to Los Angeles from Korea due to health reasons. He did, however, want me to share this written message. Dear fellow Trojans and friends, it is a tremendous honor for me to be selected for this year's USC Asian Pacific Service Award. Please accept my sincere apology for my inability to receive the award in person due to my health. However, I want you to know that I was here way back in 1989 to receive the USC Merit Award on behalf of Dr. Se-Shek Park, the president of the organizing committee for the 1988 Summer Olympics in Seoul. That ceremony had lasting impact on me. It is where I learned about the Korean Heritage Library. James Zumberg, then USC president, so impressed me with his aspirations for the fledgling library that I pledged my lifelong support. Upon my return to Korea, I immediately established the Overseas Studies and Heritage Foundation. I am deeply gratified when I hear about its international reputation as a premier research library for Korean studies. It is equally gratifying to have my contributions publicly acknowledged by a respected organization like APAA, and I would like to thank the following individuals who helped make this recognition possible. My good friend, Dean Catherine Quinlan, thank you very much. Dr. Ken Klein, the director of the East Asian Library, and Joy Kim, the curator of the center. And of course, USC trustee Barbara Rossier and Professor Gordon Berger, my lifelong friends. Thank you, friends, and thank you, APAA. And so proudly, I accept this award on his behalf. Thank you very much. Now I know what it's like to be on the Academy Awards. Tonight's second honoree has distinguished herself as a groundbreaking jurist and accomplished litigator. When Jennifer Lum was appointed a United States magistrate judge in the Central District of California, she became the first Asian American woman to hold this position. Her career in public service included a 13-year tenure with the United States Attorney's Office, where she served as an assistant United States attorney and chief of the Major Frauds Section. Her outstanding performance was recognized by her peers at the U.S. Attorney's Office, where she received both the U.S. Department of Justice Director's Award and the U.S. Attorney's Office Award for Superior Performance. Jennifer currently serves as the Deputy General Counsel at Caltech. In addition to working on both sides of the bench, Jennifer has also taught a pretrial civil procedure class as an adjunct professor at the USC Gould School of Law. She firmly believes that students should view a legal education as a means to develop critical and analytical thinking, skills that they can use in all aspects of life. Inspired by her father, a graduate of the USC Law School and founding member of the Southern California Chinese Lawyers Association, who's also here tonight, she is a staunch advocate in the advancement of diversity and leadership among minorities, especially Asian Americans, in government and law. Her own involvement in the Southern California Chinese Lawyers Association and Women's Lawyers Association of Los Angeles allowed her to make a significant difference in her community. In 2009, the Southern California Chinese Lawyers Association recognized her service and dedication with their Jurist of the Year award. She has also served as a panelist and guest lecturer at various discussions at USC. Again, focusing on the empowerment of minorities and women in law, topics included the state of diversity in the legal profession and female leadership in the court. Finally, she has a special place within the APA family. She was a board member from 2006 to 2010. During her time on the board, she served on the Scholarship Gala and Networking Committees and chaired the Leadership Speaker Series. Her past service and ongoing support of the APAA has made lasting impressions on everyone she served with, and she will continue to make a positive difference in the lives of others for years to come. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with sincere pleasure that I present the APA Service Award to Ms. Jennifer Lum.
Thank you, Grace. I don't want to drop this. That would be embarrassing. So thank you so much. First, of course, I want to thank the APAA, especially the board. I know, and Grace and Alex. I know how much time, how much dedication, how much talent, and how much treasure you all devote. Sorry, my voice is going, all that talking before the dinner. But we are so fortunate to have all of you represent us, the board members, and I know firsthand just how hard all of you work. I am really touched by this award. I really feel like I should be acknowledging APAA. The years I spent on the board were wonderful, and I am grateful for the experience. I met such wonderful and dedicated people, so accomplished. And it's not often that you can work with a group of people who are so accomplished and who are on the same page, who have the same mission, who are the same mind and heart. And APAA and the members, as well as the board members, have always been like that. I made such great friends, and I've seen a lot of them here tonight. I haven't seen you for a long time, so it's been great. It's been great to see you. I also want to thank the APAA chairs, or the presidents with whom I was able to work. I saw George earlier, John Kaji, Mitchell, and of course Rod. And I especially want to thank them for their leadership and for their inspiration. I know that Karen will continue that tradition as she moves forward. I want to note also, and Rod mentioned this, that APA, just since the time that I was on the board, has grown so much. They have provided such a resource to Asian Pacific alumni. And I am so proud of the work they have done and the fact that we are able to support so many talented students and scholars. I want to thank everyone for coming tonight, especially President Nikias. And I just want to say that your remarks, really, there were three words that kept coming to mind when you were speaking. One was community, one was passion, and one was diversity. And all three of those, I think, represent APAA. I also want to thank my family and my friends for coming tonight to support me. I have to say my younger daughter gave up a night at Disneyland to be here. So thank you, Anya. Time is so precious for all of us, and so thank you all for coming tonight. I feel like as I get older that there's less and less time, although I know that's probably because I just move a lot slower. I want to just take a second, though, and give some advice to some of the scholars here tonight, and I think my daughters are probably thinking, here she goes lecturing again. So the only thing I want to say is that, and it took me a while to learn this, that really, and this really has to do with finding what you want to do in life and also giving back to your community. And my advice is that you find something for which you have a passion, anything, whatever it is. And when you find that, you will want to make a difference. And whatever you can give, whether it's a little or a lot, whether it's time, whether it's your talent, a skill, your treasure, it will matter. So that is just the one message that I would like to give you. Again, thank you all tonight for coming, for making a difference, for supporting APAA and this great university. Thank you.
Congratulations, Jennifer. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the most delicious part of the evening. It's time for dinner. You have about 45 minutes while you enjoy your dinner, but we want to remind you that we do have a silent auction going on in the back of the room. We're going to keep it open until about 8:10, so perhaps while you're eating dinner, make sure you kind of go through some of the wonderful prizes, including that 60-inch Vizio television. There are sports tickets as well, USC-UCLA football game. Also, keep in mind, Sports Zone, there's a tour of Sports Zone at basically ABC7 with my good friend Rob Fukuzaki. That's a fun behind-the-scenes thing to do. You could bid on that, or you could bid on another tour of ABC7 behind the scenes with one of my shows. I'll give you the tour unless you pay more, and get rid of me off of that, and then I'll get somebody else to do the tour. So enjoy your dinner. We'll be back here in just a few minutes. Bon appetit.